Okay, first of all, it's great to be back out on the practice field with our players and our coaches. Really our focus today was more about our standard, about how to practice with everything as far as effort, body language, execution, and all the above. We let our young guys kind of watch for the early part of practice to kind of get a good understanding of how we do things, and then we spend a little extra time. We slowed down with those guys. We feel like we got some young guys that'll have a chance to help us this year, so we want to make sure and give them a good foundation early in fall camp, all right, so they can really retain it better, because things are going to get going pretty quick here in 3 or 4 days. But overall, you know, we saw some information that was good. We got some things we need to improve on, and it'll be good information for our coaches to you know, go out there and to grade film and watch it with our players. It was hot out there today, but that's good. We need to get used to the heat. I think we played 2 of our first 3 games during the day outside, so that'll be good for us.
Questions? Yes, where was Trey Matthews?
He was out at practice today. He'll be back tomorrow. He had to take care of some personal business.
What do you look for in players as a team and individually in the first few days as you're trying to get everybody together? You
know, you really, kind of like I said, just the standard of how to practice, the expectation of just the foundation of who we are, how we're going to approach things as far as effort, attitude, attention to detail. And, you know, we're going to be pretty basic the first couple days, which most people do. Just trying to get that foundation built the right way, offensively and defensively. You know, we're putting in a new defense, obviously, like everybody knows, but offensively, we don't have a lot of guys back. We've got some inexperienced guys that, you know, will have a chance to get better. And we got some young guys that I think will help us also.
Gus, having all these young guys on campus for so long, how much further are they ahead now than they've been maybe 10 years ago?
Well, the fact that we got most of our guys towards the end of May, they've been with Ryan Russell for, you know, the summer. And I know physically, you know, they're getting stronger, they're getting faster, but probably more importantly is they're getting used to the standard and, you know, Coach Russell's approach, and he strains them. And so a lot of the things that you have to worry about sometimes when they show up late, you know, we've got already taken care of.
Because there's a lot of hype on Jeremy this year, obviously a lot of pressure on him. Do you work to kind of shield him from that, or how do you kind of handle that?
Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is as far as, you know, expectations. I mean, he's in a good spot. But like I told all of our players, you know, I told our team, we have to earn everything we get. You know, preseason hype and all that means absolutely nothing other than people think highly of us. You've got to earn it in this game. Jeremy understands that. You know, all of our guys understand that.
You mentioned some of the freshmen earlier. How do they respond, you know, to this first day of practice, and you know, do any of them kind of stand out to you so far?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think really any one stood out. You know, we've got some guys I feel like with just, you know, you're talking about one practice, but we have some guys that it looks like could help us, and that's the good thing. You know, I'm not going to point out any one particular guy, but it does look like we got some guys that can help us, which we thought that.
Let's talk about getting a lot of your guys back. Who sat out in the spring? It's like you got a pretty healthy roster now.
We do. We got the majority of our guys out there. You know, some guys we're trying to slowly bring them along, but we feel like everybody, but just a handful, will have a chance to be ready full speed for that first game.
Is there anybody that, other than TJ, definitely is going to be ready?
You know, Prince Tega is a guy that is a possibility, in TJ, but everybody else we expect to be ready to go.
Don't let the importance of having Devontae Lambert back out there and ready to go this early.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, he was one of our better defensive players last year. His rehabs went very well. He's worked extremely hard to get back, and just to have his presence out there is good. And he's a real positive energy guy, and he's a leader, and his teammates respect him, so it's good.
Gus, I heard you tell the guys in the early period the championship starts today. Can you address that sense of urgency that you need to have, or you want them to have?
Yeah, I mean, that's the first day out there. I mean, you know, you got to earn it every day. You're competing against other people every day in practice. Everybody's first day, you're competing against them, and just that high level of intensity and attention to detail, and really that want to. You know, you got to get better each practice. So that's really what that was more about.
Coach, you talked about bringing guys along slow. Are you speaking of Cozen and Lawson, or are those two ready to go? Right,
You know, I think both those guys, you know, Lawson's been cleared for a while. Cozan's getting to that point where, you know, he's really looking good. You know, more of the ACL guys, you know, like Lambert and a couple of those other guys, we just got to be smart with, so that's what we're doing.
Happy to see JB out there after everything he's come through the last week.
Who's that?
JB Grimes.
Yeah, JB's probably the toughest coach in college football. I mean, it's, you know, he had surgery, I guess, last Wednesday, and it was major surgery, and the fact that he's out there is really something. Johnny Brewer's, you know, helping him, which he's been with him for 3 years, but Coach Grimes is he's a rock.
Are there any limitations on JB or things he can't do right now?
He's just trying to be, you know, trying not to do the yelling, and you know, he's getting up close and whispering. I know that's tough on him, but you know, but you know, the expectation for our line, they know, and they want to please him, you know, and so I saw a lot of them looking around. They knew when them, and that's the good thing. But I'm just really working hard with JB about just trying to whisper, and you know, I've tried to go over there some during practice too, in the running stalls and all that.
Isn't it a plus to have a veteran grab you assistant coach who understands what you got?
There's no doubt. You know, Johnny's been with him for 3 years, understands what we're doing, kind of his right-hand man, and so, you know, I heard Johnny a lot more today than you normally would, and so we'll see how that goes the next week or so. We want to be extremely smart with JB. A lot of coaches, most coaches wouldn't be out there.
Did Jeremy kind of take charge of things like you would like him to see out there today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he started doing that towards the end of spring. You know, he's one of our leaders. He's one of our team leaders. So he's got to lead us in the right way, and we got a lot of confidence in him right now.
Yes, you've got plenty of time to make this decision, but for captains, obviously replacing both of them from a year ago, do you look at Jeremy as a possibility?
It's a possibility. You know, we hadn't got that far. As it gets closer to the season, you know, we'll make that call. I usually like to go through, you know, fall camp and a lot of the things that happen. You know, because this is a new team. You know, this is really, we went through spring with our older guys, but this is the first time we had our younger guys and older guys and all the dynamics that go with that. So I like to wait a little bit before we do that.
We know how motivated y'all were after the way the 2013 season ended. Do you sense some of the same fire after the way last season ended?
You know, I think so. I think our older guys especially. You know, we didn't finish obviously like we wanted to, and you know, I think our older guys have a little edge to them to redeem themselves, and I think that's a good thing.
Is there anything you've done to kind of have a daily reminder? I mean, TNT 13 was something last year to kind of park on those 13 seconds. Is there any reminder that you want?
No, we just really been preaching the standard that we have to be at to have a chance to win a championship. You know, 8 and 5 is enough to motivate our guys.
That's how important is it? Probably when you played, freshmen weren't treated very well when they showed up. But as many freshmen as have to play for the older guys to as opposed to harassing them, kind of embrace them.
Yeah, I think it's a new day, especially, you know, at the highest level. You know, we're recruiting, a lot of guys are recruiting guys that can come in and play immediately. And we had some success with some true freshmen in 2013. And I think this class will have some guys that have a chance to do that. But we got a very mature team. We got a team that welcomes their teammates, and you know, they're pulling for them, and they want them to do well because they know they can help us win.
Obviously, Coach, we saw the connection that Jeremy and Duke had in the opener last year. Then you got the spring, and you got a 7-on-7. Do you see that chemistry growing even more, even though it's just the first day? Right?
You know, I mean, you got other guys too. I mean, Melvin Ray's a guy that, you know, he's made a lot of plays for us, you know, the last couple of years. Ricardo Lewis, Marcus Davis has a connection with him too. So it's not just one guy.
You mentioned the standard. How would you characterize what is the standard
Well, the standard's excellence. I mean, it's great effort, it's great body language, it's great execution, it's a great attention to detail, it's great attention to detail in meetings, being there for the guy beside you. I mean, it's, you know, more how to practice, what our expectations are, and then you can get to the X's and O's and all the scheming and all that, but you got to learn to be one on both sides of the football and to play with great energy and attention to detail.
Having the young guys and newcomers watch early on that day, is that a typical first day for you
Yeah.
with the young guys, or are you doing something different?
No, we've done it the last couple of years, and you know, I know it helps our young guys have a better chance of helping, especially early.
Is there anybody else expected to be joining the program here in the coming days and weeks?
No, we're all here.
Take a few more.
Academically, everybody in good shape.
Yes. Yes.
Can you talk about the role that some of the guys that have been here before can have, bringing the younger guys along, the guys that you do want to be able to contribute this year, how they can get them ready to play?
You talking about our older guys helping our
Right, the
young?
leaders on the team, the guys.
Yeah, we got a pretty mature team that, like I said earlier, that kind of get it, that want to help them. That'll spend a little extra time on their own and just try to show them the details of our offense, defense, and special teams.